Hello and welcome back to Live a Little podcast by Dr. Sidhi Desai. Today we are going to discuss about destiny and the choices that we make. This is a personal reflection podcast, dear friends. Imagine a world where curiosity is celebrated and questions are welcomed with open arms. A world where the thirst for knowledge is nurtured and the pursuit of answers is encouraged. As a child, I was fortunate enough to experience this kind of world, at least for a little while. It all started with a famous saying that I'm sure you're familiar with: curiosity killed the cat. It's a warning to those who ask too many questions and explore too deeply. But as I grew older, I discovered that there was more to the saying than I had ever known before. The full quote is: curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. This was a revelation to me, and it made me realize that curiosity isn't something to be feared, but rather something to be celebrated. As a child, I was filled with questions. I wanted to know everything about the world around me. My mother, an Indian classical dancer and teacher, was patient with my endless queries. She answered my questions to the best of her ability, even if it meant doing a little bit of research herself. My father, on the other hand, was not as understanding. He would often get irritated and tell me to stop asking so many questions. Despite my father's impatience, my mother's love for learning and teaching had a profound impact on me. I was introduced to the world of religious dances and mythology at a young age. My mother started her dance school in Chennai when she was only 17, and after getting married, she moved her classes to Mumbai. A suburb of Mira Road was home to a Hare Krishna temple where a lot of cultural events were conducted. My mother would make me and other students participate in these events, and it was here that I discovered my love for storytelling. One day, there was an announcement about the Bhagavad Gita classes beginning for children, and my mother enrolled me in the classes when I was just 8 years old. These classes were my first introduction to the ancient Indian text. It sparked a burning question in my mind: how do we differentiate between free will and destiny? It's a question that has followed me throughout my life, and the one that I've spent countless hours discussing with my mother, my uncle, and even my friends. The conversations we had were philosophical, deep, and thought provoking. We would ponder whether we are slaves to our destiny or whether we have a say in our life. We debated and deliberated, but the answer seemed elusive. It's as if the question had taken root in my heart and mind, refusing to let go. The question remained because if we are subject to destiny, then why bother striving for anything or fighting our way through life? What's the point of trying if everything is predetermined? On the other hand, if we have free will, then why do certain things happen despite our best efforts to prevent them? It's like we are swimming in an ocean of confusion, desperately searching for a shore to cling to, but perhaps the answer isn't so straightforward. As the years went by, I found myself diving deeper into the world of self help and spirituality. I devoured books like The Secret, Conversations with God, and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and many more, seeking answers to the questions that had been burning inside me for so long. And then, once again, I came across the Bhagavad Gita, the book that had first sparked my curiosity all those years ago. As I delved deeper into the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, I began to understand the concept of karma, the idea that we are only responsible for our own actions and not the outcome. At first, I rebelled against this notion, wondering why should I bother trying if the universe was just going to do what it wanted anyway. But over time, I began to see the wisdom in Sri Krishna's words. Through the events of my life, I slowly began to understand the fine line between free will and destiny. I realized that while I couldn't control everything that happened to me, I could control how I responded to it. And as I started to put this into practice, the line between the two concepts began to shine more and more brightly. However, what reminded me of this thought was a movie I watched the other day, Ink Heart. The main character of the movie, a silver tongue, had the ability to bring book characters to life by reading them aloud. But it came with a price. Someone from the real world would disappear into the book. One character that caught my attention was a selfish magician who was brought to reality but longed to go back to his own world to see his family. Unfortunately, the author revealed to him that he would die in the book because of his wrongdoings. The magician had a choice to make: accept his destiny and return to the book to die, or never go back and stay in the real world. To my surprise, the magician didn't accept his fate and said, "You are not my God, and I refuse to die. I am going to be with my family." His sheer faith in himself shook me to my core. Yes, we may have chosen our parents and a roadmap for our life when we were born, but we are made in the likeness of the universe, which means we have the power of creation. We also have the power of choice and free will. If we don't like the way our life is headed, we have the ability to change it. It's all a matter of how willing we are to do so. As the great philosopher Epictetus once said, we are not given a good life or a bad life. We are given a life. It's up to us to make it good or bad. We have the power to create our own destiny and steer our life in the direction we want. It's all a matter of our willingness to take action and have faith in ourselves. So the question remains, are you willing to fight for the life you want? Or are you content with letting destiny take its course? Do you want to sit in your living room cursing the job you lost, or cursing your stars that are not in your favor, or the time that is never in favor of you? Or are you willing to shrug your shoulders, get up, be willing to get uncomfortable and do something about your life and the situation you are in? I heard Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar say once that your height is your destiny and your weight is your free will. Like we are born on earth as humans, it could be our destiny. But what we do with this privilege to be born as a human and the miraculous power of doing something with it and making the world a better place to be in is our free will. That is our choice. And to come to think of it, there is a wonderful wonder to the mystery of this destiny that seems to have so much power in it. I mean, for sure, we can have lots of probabilities to predict what our future could be like, but it is the small everyday choices that are going to create the big grand future that we are working so hard for. It is in this moment now that we are creating our future. Every small choice we make, from getting up early to going for a walk, to skipping a workout and devouring a cheese pizza, all these seemingly insignificant actions are contributing to the powerful future we want to have or that is destined for us. Also, I have come to believe that when you give too much power to destiny, you lose the power of choice that is available to you right now. This is a total loss of the infinite possibilities that are available to us in every moment. Believing in destiny makes us handicapped in a way that makes us too content with where we are now, and it doesn't drive us to stand up and do something about it. So I am choosing to believe in free will and choice more than destiny, just like the magician in the book, and create my own destiny. In the history of this world, we have seen miracles, successes, and magic by people who at the start had no skills, or the world didn't trust them, or science had given them a deadline, but they have achieved the unachievable. Take the example of Sushmita Sen, who was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and advised not to exercise. Instead of giving up, she chose to take up aerial training and not only improved her health but also surprised her doctors. Or Selena Gomez, who overcame a life threatening illness and stepped into her power. These stories, along with countless others, prove that miracles can happen when we have faith and determination. It's up to us to make the choice to create our own destiny and work towards the life we want. It's important to remember that every small choice we make, every action we take is a step towards future. As you make choices, remember that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. By Winston Churchill. So the question is, are you willing to take those small steps and create your own destiny? I'll leave you with this thought. Until next time. Bye bye. Love and light.